Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first video for our senior interview series. My name is Callie Pullman. I'm a senior on the women's basketball team, and I'm the president of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. This year, we really wanted to do something special to kind of highlight and honor our graduating senior student athletes. And so we decided to do kind of a video interview series. So I talked a little bit about myself. With me, I have Massey Arnold, and I'll have him introduce himself a little bit.
Hey guys, I'm Massey Arnold, Assistant Athletic Director here at McKendree. Excited to be joined here today by a couple of seniors. We have Izzy Strimling and Sarah Harden. They're just going to kind of talk a little bit about their experiences here at McKendree and kind of what they've learned along the way and what we've got going in the future. So welcome. Excited to have you. How about you just introduce yourself for us?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm Izzy. Izzy Strimling. I'm a goalie for the women's water polo team here. I'm a political science and philosophy major, and I'm from a small suburb outside of San Francisco, California.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah Harden. I play on the women's lacrosse team here at McKendree University. I am a midfielder, so I do lots of running. It's a great time. Studying biopsychology and environmental studies. And I'm from St. Louis area.
Great. So just to kind of jump in, why don't you guys talk a little bit about how your seasons are going so far? I know it's been a little different with COVID this year, but just kind of talk about how it's going and what you guys have left in your seasons.
For water polo, we just finished up our second out of 3 tournaments that we get this year. So it's a little bit cut short for us, definitely. But we're super happy to be back. I mean, we got our season cut last year as well. This year, we actually beat Gannon, which is the first thing that's ever happened in program history, which was huge. And we also beat Mercyhurst, which is like our little rivalry in the school. And so we're all super hyped up, and we're going into the WWPA championships next weekend. So we're super excited for that.
Cool. Yeah, so last year we got our season cut. We only played 7 games, and we usually do mid 20 games. This year we are playing, I believe, like 15 or 17 games, which is nice. We were only going to play 12, but they've been bumping it up. The beginning of our season started going really well, but last week we did have a couple positive cases. So we're in quarantine, which is different than it's ever been. Yeah, we missed 2 games, or we had to reschedule 3 of our games. So now we have 1 week. We have next week, 2 weeks until our final tournament, and we have to play 6 games within the 2 weeks there to make up for the games that were lost. And so, yeah, we're going to be traveling next week from Wednesday to Saturday, and then 2 games the week after that, which end that weekend is our conference tournament. So fingers crossed we get to make up all of our games and get into the conference tournament like we should, but all depends on COVID. It's been kind of crazy.
Imagine. Well, hopefully it all works out for you. That'll be a tough stretch, but
it's going to be a lot of running. I'm excited.
So the next question I have is just what are some things you guys have been involved in on campus, either within athletics or outside of athletics, organizations, any of that sort of thing?
Well, my freshman year, I was kind of really enthusiastic and excited to jump into everything. So I was a part of a bunch of different things. I've been on the speech and debate team here for about 2 years now. I kind of put that on hold whenever water polo starts so that I can focus all my energy on that. And then I also write for the McKendree Review, which is our school's newspaper. I'm a political columnist, and I was also kind of an editor at one point, kind of not. I just kind of hang out, and if they need anything, they can let me know. And then I also do, I tutor at the Holy Angels Women's and Children's Center in St. Louis, and that was originally started through the Into the Streets program that we all do during our freshman year. And I just kind of kept going with that. It's been really cool, really eye-opening. And yeah, I just kind of help out wherever I'm needed. And my coach always has a bunch of cool activities for us to do in the community. And through McKendree in the Lebanon area. It's really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Cool. So yeah, I am kind of like Izzy. Whenever I first got here and we did the involvement fair, whatever, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much things to do, so many things to do on campus. And as school got going, you're not as, I mean, some of those things get cut off, but I'm part of the honors program. So some of my favorite things that we did, like we were really involved with the HET and went to like tons of plays, and the speaker series that the HET has every year except for now-ish. I don't know, it's a little bit different because of COVID, but I was able to do that every single year. I've kept it up, just going and involving myself with the HET. I'm part of the McKendree Green team, which is an environmental club on campus, which then again kind of got cut off because of COVID, but we held food runs and clothing drives, and my sophomore year did a swap and shop where it was kind of like a mini McKendree thrift store. You brought some clothes that you wanted to donate, and depending on how many clothes that you brought, like you could swap that amount. I'm also part of some like honor societies on campus as well. So
awesome. I know as athletes, getting involved in other stuff, it can get kind of hard, especially once we get up in our majors, keeping up with all that and schoolwork. It's kind of tough.
Traveling is the hardest part, I think.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you're involved.
My next question for you guys is, what has been your most memorable experience here at McKendree? And it can be within athletics, outside of athletics. So what's something that you'll always remember about your time here?
I think that it's less of one event for me and more of just the atmosphere of McKendree overall, and how close knit the community is, and also just how small the classes are. Because I think that I walked in here expecting the typical like college experience where there's 50 plus people in a class, and instead I met Ann Collins and Dr. Brian Fredder King and got like one-on-one attention. And I think that's why I'm excelling so much in my major. And I think that's also why I'm doing so well in athletics, is because everybody just seems to care about you as an individual. And I think that's really fostering just a really great environment for everyone here, not just myself.
Ann Collins is the GOAT.
Oh yeah.
I kind of like Izzy, don't know if I have like one specific thing that was really great, but I think everything that our school has done to kind of get everyone involved have been my favorite events. I know my freshman year, I loved living in the dorms because everyone was connected all the time. And my mom sent me to college with tons of games and like scooters and just a bunch of fun outdoor things. And since I played an outdoor sport, my friends and I were always in the quad, like passing around a lacrosse ball or playing with whatever doohickey I decided to get out during the day, and like sitting outside after Ames for hours. And I know I bought a kickball from Walmart, and I think almost like everyone in our class had played with it, because when we were out in the quad, I'd just bring a marker, and whoever was out there and wanted to join us, I'd be like, hey, sign my ball so I can remember you guys. And I have it cut in half and framed over there. I'm not gonna get up. But I like to see who had come, and I know there's like people that transfer in and out of McKendree, but it was fun to see all the names from freshman year and who I'm still caught up with and who like made a big impression on me, or like, oh, remember that one time that we were out in the quad and they got my ball stuck in the tree and they had to go get it. So it's just like been playing outside with tons of new friends that I never would have had. Mm-hmm. I think McKendree does a good job at recruiting people from all over the place. So just the people at McKendree, meeting people that I would have never seen anywhere else, including like sports players that are international that come to McKendree to play like tennis or soccer or volleyball. It's just crazy the kind of people that you meet.
I love that. The next thing I have is, what is something that you know now that you wish you would have known coming into college as a first year student, or just maybe like something that would have helped you along the way now that you know? And again, this can be athletic related or academic related.
It is really hard to cook for yourself every night. Like, I took for granted my mom's meals every single day
That's
of
your
my
mom's
life
thing.
up until I came here. Like, I struggle so much with meal prepping and figure out what I need to get from the grocery store. Like, sometimes I'll come all the way back and realize that I literally need 2 more ingredients that I just didn't even think of. And I think that they do a good job with meal plans, but like, I like to cook for myself. I like homemade food, but I guess I just wasn't prepared to truly cook for myself every single night and keep like the athletic, you're supposed to eat healthy and all that. So it's hard. It's hard without parents.
A big thing for me that I wish I would have known is, I think I wish I would have stayed on campus a little bit longer than I did, because you do have those connections and the walk is 2 minutes. So you can literally roll out of bed, put some clothes on, walk to campus within 10 minutes. Like, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I wish I would have stayed on campus a little bit longer than I than I did. And I also I came in as an OT major, and I was set on doing like the 3-2 program with WashU, and like that was the plan that I had in mind, and that didn't end up. I'm a biopsych major, and I wish I would have done a little bit more research into the master's programs. Like, I wish I would have had a plan B and a little bit more ahead than just bachelor's. So those are my 2 things.
I think a lot of people go through that, especially like coming in. Everyone has like these big plans for anything, and then you either get into a class and you realize you like something else, or you get in a class and you realize you do not like that, and then
Yeah,
changes a lot of people's minds. So you're not alone, I'm sure, in that. And kind of piggybacking off of that, what's something you've learned here at your time at McKendree that you'll take with you in the next step? Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one.
I would say time management. I don't think that I knew I was going to be traveling so much as an athlete. And although like we do get on those bus rides, for us 14, 15-hour bus rides, you don't get nearly as much done as you think you're going to when you get on the bus, because you're just exhausted and you want to get off the bus. That's all you focus on. And so I think that going forward in life, I have just a foundation of time management, just being an athlete in general too, balancing practices and lift times and coaches meetings and captains meetings and being on time for practices and getting enough sleep. All of it is so much, but I think it's really shaped my ability to kind of conquer anything that I want to do. So I'm very thankful for that coming out of college.
I'm glad you learned that, because I'm definitely still a procrastinator, but I get things done. Something that I learned that at McKendree especially, that it's okay to ask for help. I think we have really supportive faculty and staff and coaches and teammates, and the people here generally I think are really nice. And if you're struggling or need a break because you were on a 14-hour bus drive and all your professors scheduled a test for Monday morning at 9 and 10 and 11, like, I think the people at McKendree especially are forgiving and understanding, and they have to be, because we are predominantly sports institution. We have a lot of players that are a lot of students that are student athletes, and so accommodations already have to be made. But with my professors and my coach especially, like, if I had an issue, I learned pretty fast that it's okay to ask for help, and the people here are going to do whatever they can to make sure you succeed.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You can literally, there's some professors that you can text to if you need anything.
yeah, and like there's like the writing center and the counseling services and like the library, you can go and ask for research help. Like there are so many resources on campus that I was made aware of, and I think I took full advantage of them. That really helped me succeed here at McKendree.
Yeah. And I feel like the professors, kind of like what you said, Sarah, like they really care about you more than just as a student. Like they're trying to get you through, but they really want you to learn, but they also want you to like be healthy, mentally healthy. Like if you're struggling, they're going to help you. And like that's something really special, I think.
Yeah, like the stress dogs in the library during finals week and free nuggets and blurt McKendees, and like there's a lot of little things that McKendree does to make it a little bit easier.
I'd agree. The last thing I got for you guys is just any plans after graduation? Like, what's it looking like for you two?
I am moving back to San Francisco. I'm going to the University of San Francisco School of Law, and I'm going to study intellectual property, and I hope to actually work for the San Francisco Warriors. I interned with them virtually over the summer, so I'm kind of going into a little bit of an in-person internship this summer, and I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
I've only planned out that far. I don't really know what comes next. Just 3 years of law school, and there we go. We'll figure it out along the way.
You got 3 more years to.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure how COVID was going to play out this year, so I'm going to do a gap year. And I don't necessarily have anything set up. I'm staying here at Perryman 1 more year because rent's cheap, and I will be with my friends for 1 more year before we all figure out where our life brings us. I know right after graduation, 2 of my best friends and I are going to go on 2-week national park road trip, and we're just going to do some exploring. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I wanted to take a year to kind of figure out if I want to go more onto like the neuroscience path, or if I want to keep diving into environmental studies. Right now I have a niche interest in environmental justice and that movement. So I've been pursuing that the last couple months, and I've been really enjoying that. But I'm gonna take a year to decide and see where I end up.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you have a decent idea of ways that you can go with that.
Wait, so. I have paths. That
Yeah.
which one I want to go on? Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you guys could kind of talk about your time at McKendree. Good luck with the rest of your seasons, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Callie. Thank you, Massey.
Izzy, Sarah, thanks again for joining us. And thanks for all you've done for McKendree and for Bearcat Athletics over the last few years. As a student athlete, you put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And we thank you for that. We've enjoyed the time, and we wish you the best of luck, both as you close out your season and then moving forward. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks again, guys.